last week's video and this week's video very seldom talked about in common financial literature because it's, quote, too personal. Well, I guess it is personal, but say money is personal. And Jesus says, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. This week, we're going to look at a man's greatest danger for financial disaster. As some of you have realized now, over many years, I've done a detailed analysis of the book of Proverbs. There's about 943 Proverbs by verse, and about 177 relate to financial advice. When you register on Wisdom with Wealth, look under the keyword immorality, and you will find 10 hits to that keyword. Now, it's really a key concept, not the word immorality doesn't appear in the text per se, but the concept is in there. And I'm going to look at 4 of the 10 hits. There are 6 hits that are sort of light hits. 4 hits are fairly strong that talk about the danger of how immorality will ruin financial wealth. And the first one has to do with your credit rating. And I was just reading today that Canadians are struggling making their minimum payments on the credit cards with interest rates going up and the economy not being that strong. Credit card companies are making a killing, but it's at the expense of often financially weaker Canadians. People are concerned, how do I keep my credit rating high? Well, here's something you probably won't read about elsewhere, but it's really important. It says, Proverbs chapter 27, verse 13. Take his garment when it becomes surety for a stranger, and for an adulterous woman, hold him in pledge. Careless friendships can cost you your financial freedom. Money and sex combine into a dangerous and powerful concoction. Moral indiscretion leads to financial pain, guaranteed. Therefore, when you take this quiz now, the 3-question quiz, and if you answer the first or the third choice, I submit you will have financial problems. Not because I'm making this up, but because God has said those people who have the wrong attitude towards sex will get into financial trouble sooner or later. Surprisingly, what affects your credit rating? Proverbs 27:13. Take his garment when it becomes surety for a stranger, and for an adulterous woman, hold him in pledge. So it's very important that sex be handled as sacred. Number 2, does pornography aid the economy? Proverbs 29, verse 3 says, a man who loves wisdom makes his father glad, but he who keeps company with harlots wastes his wealth. A couple of things to point out there. The word his is in italics, meaning it's not in the original Hebrew. So it could read, he who keeps company with harlots wastes wealth. Harlots are prostitutes. Now, this could be physical company or it could be mental company through pornography. So if people are engaging in pornographic fantasy land, dream worlds, then I submit that this is also true, that our time is being wasted and God's word cannot be broken. He who keeps company with pornography in his imagination also wastes wealth. I submit not only his wealth, but the entire economy is contaminated, destroyed with the effect of pornography in the lives of men. So this is really a call for men to have self-control and for men to be guided by the Spirit of God rather than by animal desires of the flesh. So this is where we need the Spirit of God to help all of us men to treat sex as sacred rather than sex as sport. Now, the next one I want to draw your attention to is the question, how expensive is immorality? In Proverbs chapter 6, we have a story of a young man who is naive and who goes to places he shouldn't be going. And it says here, for on account of a harlot, one is reduced to a loaf of bread. Now, that's a NASB translation, but what it says basically is a human being becomes commoditized as inanimate loaf of bread. The price of a prostitute can cost and has cost many men a fortune. A fortune. So read the entire analysis of this proverb. Again, I urge you, register on Wisdom with Wealth. If you want financial success without financial contamination, if you want to optimize your wealth, rather than just simply maximizing it for a short term, but optimize it for the long term. In other words, if you want to build lasting prosperity, I would recommend you register on this website. It's not expensive, and start mining God's truth for successful financial strategy. The last one that I want to mention is Proverbs chapter 7, 19 to 20. Does wealth make a marriage strong? And the answer is no, that you need much more than just money to make a marriage strong, because in this case, a man, this is the lady's husband, is not home. He has gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him. So what she's saying there is that this is a wealthy man who's left his wife alone. She is not a highly ethical woman. She's not an excellent wife, and he's going to have financial trouble when he gets back. I strongly urge you to look at the other 6, looking at the keyword immorality, and to study other keywords in terms of how sexual behavior and financial success are interrelated. And whenever we get into the book of Proverbs, God's word in particular, we get light. In other words, dark zone. We don't want to stay in the dark. We want to move forward in the light of God's word, and that will really lead to true success. I hope this is helpful for you as it has been for me. Please share it with others so that the financial situation in our whole country can improve.